All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between XiaoKai versus Hug, taking place here on the Last Refuge. We have XiaoKai spawning as, well, the purple Undead over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map. One of my favorite colors for Undead. Purple just seems to work well, just like green with orcs works well as well. So, yep, XiaoKai spawning as the purple Undead over here on the bottom left. Hug spawning over here on the top right hand side of the map. Unfortunately, there is no, well, information based on population count, so you just have to, well, channel mentally that you want me to click on a building that isn't under production or training or anything to actually see what their supply counts are. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. 7/10 by XiaoKai, not training up any extra acolytes. No big surprise there. Graveyard, Crypt, and Altar of Darkness. Altar of Darkness does seem to be a little bit delayed, so it's not going to be your standard, well, Ghoul Rush opening. A delayed possible Death Knight in order to perhaps put a little bit of pressure down, or we might see some other hero as well, but my money would be on a Death Knight. Now, this is going to be the Blade Master. We are still waiting to see what additional buildings will be placed down here. Perhaps a Voodoo Lounge. Voodoo Lounge is pretty standard now, and then the follow-up question is going to be the timing of that second Orc Burrow. The second Orc Burrow, important to, well, train up additional grunts as well. Normally Orc players sit at 20 supply for a little bit of time. They're trying to harvest as much lumber as they can. If they want to get that second grunt, they need to build that second Orc Burrow earlier, which does delay their tech. Back over here on the Undead side, it is going to be the Death Knight, as we are looking at Tomb of Relics being placed down as well. Alright, Blade Master already out. We are at the 2-minute and 8-second mark for those of you guys keeping count. And the Blade Master is just going to clear out of this Ogre Warrior creep camp. Blade Master purposely trying to pull aggro so that the Grunt can actually join in on this fight here. Let's take a look at this. Pulling that aggro a little bit away, trying to finish off this Ogre Warrior. Ogre Warrior will get taken down, and now we are finishing up the remainder of the Trappers. Meanwhile, we are getting to tier 2, getting up that second Orc Burrow as well. And, well, that Voodoo Lounge should be coming online, allowing the Blade Master to sell that Scroll of Town Portal, pick up, well, double healing salves, perhaps no Dust of Appearance, not this early, but maybe a Scroll of Speed. Back over here on the bottom left, Death Knight now wandering forth, going to be going after, well, a relatively difficult, well, what type of creep camp is he going for? He's actually going for this creep camp off over here. Gonna go ahead and aggro these ogres. There's that Rod of Necromancy making its way over. Blade Master now gonna join in as well, and Hug is gonna actually have a very easy time perhaps trying to steal a little bit of experience. Let's take a look at this. Blade Master unable to do anything there. Death Knight does not have a death coil, or does not have Dust of Appearance. You can take a look. Skeletal minions are getting taken down. Blade Master absorbing quite a bit of damage as well. You can take a look at this. Blade Master sitting at level 1. Death Knight gets the death coil off, finishes off the unit again, and is now wandering back on Blight. Skeletal minion still trying to engage. Blade Master looks like it will get to level 2 right there. Meanwhile, Death Knight sitting at level 1 does have a little bit of mana. Grunt now joining in on the fight. Death Knight purposely trying to stay on Blight a little while longer while holding some of that damage as well. There's that death coil to save that low hit point Crypt Fiend, as the units are now backing off. Blade Master with a little bit of an experience lead. Death Knight now trying to hold back this here, as we are looking for one Nerubian tower to actually get completed. The Blade Master is able to freely run around here without the effects of that cold tower, because, well, the Nerubian tower is still not done. However, the Blade Master knows the longer he sticks around, the harder it is going to be, as the Skeletal Minions may try to be backing off here. Alright, let's take a look at this. Necropolis about halfway through as well. Skeletal Minions, where are they all going? Off over here, another Skeletal Minion. Meanwhile, Blade Master trying to get away. Grunt, well, is getting healed back up. Crypt Fiends extending a little bit of damage once more, as the Skeletal Minion could get taken down at the hands of the creep camps. Yes, it will. Alright, ensnare onto another Skeletal Minion right there. Death Knight now nearby. Blade Master, is it going to perhaps get some damage here? Let's take a look. Skeletal Minions trying to fight back. Death Knight well, venturing forth again. Blade Master still getting a little bit of experience, but using a little bit of mana right there to try and get that damage. All right, down to, well, 380 damage. He Wind Walk, able to get back. Dust of Appearance is right there. Blade Master, well, now going to be in trouble. Who's going to get the experience? Blade Master gets the experience, and I believe the item, as well as the Death Knight, unable to use a Death Coil to finish it off as it still had enough hit points. Death Knight will get to level 2 here, but the important thing to note is that the Blade Master was able to get a lot of harassment in while building a lot of his infrastructure back at home. We are going into double bestiary, so double raiders perhaps being trained up, or raiders and Kodo beasts. No spirit walkers, no nothing of that nature, no casters either, no Tauren Totem or the Spirit Lodge, as the Death Knight now sits at level 2. Rod of Necromancy now used. Dust of Appearance quickly being used to try and reveal where that Blade Master could perhaps be. Blade Master very much nearby. 2 of those grunts are extremely low on hit points. Meanwhile, the Death Knight still venturing forth, perhaps trying to finish off some more here as the Blade Master sits at level 2. Death Knight does not have enough for a Death Coil. Let's take a look at that. Picks up the Ring of Protection +3. Now being forced to back off here. There's an ensnare. Unfortunate ensnare there, as the Crypt Fiend could end up getting taken down. Nope, does not get taken down, as the Shadow Hunter, well, shows up right in time. All right, let's take a look at this. A little bit more healing. Death Knight wanting to get to level 3 before using the mana for a Death Coil. 400 hit point heal would be exactly what the doctor ordered. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this. Does the Death Knight have any more units to try and engage? Yes, he does. Going to try and pull them back here. Perhaps try to use them back on the Blight. Are they going to really venture forth that far? There you go. After those 4 Troll Trappers there, a little bit of damage being added. And with that, the Death Knight, with the help of this 4 Troll Trapper, should in fact get to level 3. Alright, and yeah, we'll get to level 3 right there. Meanwhile, back on the other side, Blade Master will be getting to level 3. Shadow Hunter staying at level 1. We are getting a Lich as well. We are taking the tier 3. No big surprises as we take a look. Oh, there's the Death Knight getting off 2 quick strikes right there. Let's take a look. Are we going to get Frost Armor? Yeah, Frost Armor all of a sudden straight up onto that Crypt Fiend, slowing down the amount of damage the Blade Master does in terms of, well, per swing, and also adding a little bit of armor as well. Blade Master being forced to retreat back, taking a little bit of damage once again as the units are retreating once more. All right, Skeletal Minion doing a little bit of harassment. We are going into tier 3 surprisingly, but we do not have a War Mill. Without the War Mill, you will not see the fortified armor upgrades, and XiaoKai could capitalize on this, getting the being able to attack with those Crypt Fiends and deal full damage to those units is incredibly powerful. Meanwhile, that Blade Master, well, Blade Master still wandering around here. He was completely revealed, and now he's looking to back off. Death Knight, Lich sitting at level 1, 2. Ogre Mauler still chasing a bit, as we're looking at the Shadow Hunter trying to get, well, trying to level up as well. Already sitting at level 2, may try to go for level 3. Lich in that front line now. Healing Ward offering a lot of health right there. Lich should perhaps be backing off. Blade Master shows up to the party. This could be very bad news. Obsidian Statue, Death Knight. Are we going to perhaps see a little bit more damage? There's the Dust of Appearance. Damage onto that Blade Master now. Blade Master is absorbing a lot of damage. Death Knight picks up the item as the units are now trying to get away. Ensnares going around, and the Death Knight is going to lose his partner in crime. Death Knight unable to get a Death Coil off, low on mana, and was turned into a frog, a crab, or a seal with that Hex, as the Death Knight now still trying to head back. Scroll of Speed being used. Death Knight perhaps going to try and buy a Scroll of Town Portal just in case things go sideways. Things are already sideways for XiaoKai as he loses an Obsidian Statue as well. All right, Scroll of Town Portal coming across, finally being used. Damage heading back. Death Knight says, let me, well, cut my losses down to another Scroll of Town Portal, and that is it. We are looking at a sizable experience or a sizable army advantage. 5 supply difference at this stage and point in the game, and that is with one of the heroes still currently being resurrected compared to nothing being trained by Hug. Alright, Rock Golem getting a boulder onto the Shadow Hunter. Units are going to be backing off here. Tauren Chieftain may try and engage. Experience is going to be rather slow coming for a little bit of time. Meanwhile, Lich is coming across here to enjoy and engage in on these fights. Lich may try to get to level 2 here in just a moment. However, Raiders are going to be getting into position. This could go from bad to worse very quickly, as the creeps are now stuck between the two armies. Alright, it looks as though Hug is the one at the beating end of the Rock Golem creep camp. However, the items and the experience now given to the Blade Master a little bit out of position. Skeletal minions are all right here. Going to be able to finish off some Forest Troll High Priest and that Forest Troll Trapper. Meanwhile, what is the overall army size? It is 44 over 50 compared to 49 over 50. Still a 5 supply advantage, as the Shadow Hunter going to get an ensnare off onto that Ogre Lord. Now come in with the surround. Easy surround right there as the Ogre Lord. Oh, he should not have been able to escape so easily. Finally gets taken down. Blade Master, or who picked up the item? Let's take a look. It looks as though the Blade Master picked up some sort of useful item right there, as the Ogre Magi now looking to back up. Tauren Chieftain, no new items. And, well, Shadow Hunter, it didn't look like it either. Was it left behind? No, it was not. We are also looking at the Crypt Lord added in by XiaoKai. XiaoKai using that classic Frozen Throne Tri-Hero, the Crypt Lord, able to impale units and, well, get them into a tough spot, make it difficult for them to escape, as it does temporarily stun. And then followed up with the Lich's Frost Nova. It is very difficult to try and escape right there. Peon gonna get taken down, no problem, as the Rock Golem now makes its way back over. All right, picking up a Belt of Giant Strength. Raiders now heading back again. Forest Troll High Priest going to engage. Skeletal minions are all right here. What's happening? Forest Troll High Priest, there's a little bit more damage. Impale picking up some of those frontline units, and it looks like some of those units will get taken down. One more shot. Death Coil finishes off a Raider. Grunt going to get taken down, and XiaoKai, who was behind for much of this match, now may be able to come out ahead. Destroyer having a good amount of mana here. That is perhaps a problem, as the Destroyers, if they have mana, they are dealing extra damage. 52 over 60 supply now compared to 47 over 50. The 5 supply advantage has swung the other way, especially as the Death Knight able to capitalize, or XiaoKai able to capitalize on those creep jacks there. Alright, we still see Orc Burrows not upgraded at all. War Mill is now done, but no fortified armor upgrades mean that the Crypt Fiends and the Destroyers could easily make their way over and shut down the production of the Orc by simply taking out a number of key vulnerable Orc Burrows. Lich making its way off to the north here. Let's take a look. Crypt Fiends ready to go. Let's take a look at this Huntsman. Going to be able to engage, take down, or able to engage and take down those Huntsmen. Meanwhile, Gargantuan Sea Turtles will get taken out as well. And for some reason, now Hug seems to be playing close to home. He's not taking risks nearly as much as he was during the early portion of the game. And with that, he is out of position. He is not engaging. He is not creeping. And he's actually falling further behind, as the Death Knight, Lich, and the Crypt Lord are starting to level up a bit better. Level 4 on the, or level 3 on the Blade Master, level 3 on the Shadow Hunter, level 2 on the Tauren Chieftain, going up against a 4-3-2, as the remainder of this creep camp will get cleared up. Death Knight, oh, Lich gonna pick up a Tome of Intelligence right there, adding in a little bit more damage, a little bit more armor. We'll be here ready to go in just a moment. Alright, Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 2. Shadow Hunter sitting at level 3, gonna go ahead and get ready to engage. Blade Master, Destroyers are all right here, going straight after those units. Ensnare onto a low hit point Destroyer. Destroyer behind enemy lines, gets a Death Coil, but still gets taken down. Blade Master with 2 followed up critical strikes, doing its job. Healing Wave, keeping more units alive. Tauren Chieftain puts his foot down, stuns a number of units, as well as the Crypt Fiend stays alive ever so barely. 7 armor on that Crypt Fiend, making it very difficult for him to get taken out. Meanwhile, the Destroyer is going to try and engage and able to finish off some of those other units as well. Destroyer gets ensnared, no easy escape. It's going to get taken down. There it goes. Blade Master now at level 4. Tauren Chieftain is still alive, and the Undead is having some difficulties as more and more Undead units are falling. However, if a handful of Raiders will get taken down right here, that should be the end of it. No, Healing Wave saves another low hit point Raider. Destroyer going to get taken out here, and a beautiful engagement by Hug. Hug is actually finishing off many of these units as they are trying to escape. But Blade Master now with Orb of Lightning purging down one of those destroyers. Raiders are going to fall as well, but who is going to come out ahead as the Tauren Chieftain now sits at level 3? Tauren Chieftain chasing after some of those Orc units. Let's take a look. 45 supply compared to 42. We are still about even, but the Lich, well, and a number of other undead units really looking like they are in the red zone. Meanwhile, Shadowhunter, Blade Master, Tauren Chieftain, all looking very strong right now on hit points, and they did do a good job of leveling. All right. With this said, Crypt Lord will get to level 3. Lich will stay at level 3, so it's going to be 4-3-3 going up against, I believe, 4-3-3 as well. Yeah, Shadowhunter almost at 4. We'll see if perhaps another level of Hex will make a difference, as we are taking a look at shot will take it down. There you go, 4-3-3 versus 4-3-3. Death Knight a little bit behind. Meanwhile, let's take a look back across here. Shadowhunter going to be here, ready to go. Forest Troll High Priest will get taken down, as the Forest Troll will fall as well. Shadowhunter now sitting comfortably at level 4. Meanwhile, let's take a look. Blade Master down across over here. Shadowhunter and Tauren Chieftain ready to go. It is 4-3-3 versus 4-3-3. The majority of the easy creep camps have been cleared up, as the Death Knight gonna venture forth and spot that, well, not spot, but I guess hear the footsteps of that Blade Master, or no other real reason that XiaoKai decided to back up right there. Kodo Beast deliciously enjoying an undead abomination that has taken a serious amount of damage, and that's perhaps where a lot of the supply of XiaoKai's army is currently sitting in. Let's take a look at this. We are looking at a 56/60 compared to 60/70, and that's what 4 supplies sitting in the belly of a Kodo. That is a very big deal, as Hug may be able to squeeze out a victory here in just a second. Blade Master gonna try and engage. No, gonna just head off to the north, try to finish off some additional units, as the Death Knight now makes its way over to finish off some Ogre Magi. There it goes. Death Knight sitting at 4. Destroyers are all here, ready to go. 1-2 upgrades here, ready for action. Meanwhile, the Crypt Fiends, I believe, yes, also 1-2 upgrades. The Ghouls, 0-0 upgrades now, as the Tauren Chieftain now makes its way over here to the top left, only the spot that has already been cleared out. 17 supply, pretty much all gone. Blade Master, oh, excuse me, 17 minutes. Main gold mine should be mined out here in just a moment. That means that the expansions are going to become an even more important part of the army, having one at this point. Meanwhile, Blade Master is in the back, trying to, well, engage and group, ready to go this army here, as the Death Knight, well, Lich is here as well. Lich is very close to level 4, but not yet quite ready, trying to just poke apart some damage. There you go, there's some easy damage. Healing Wave saves the Forest Troll, or the Troll Berserker right there, preventing the next level for that Lich, which is a big deal indeed. All right, gonna go ahead and impale, try to finish off some units. Blade Master, well, more heals. There goes Lich, now finally at level 4, is gonna be able to Frost Nova more. There goes the Crypt Lord, as so many units are in that front line. Raider trying to stay alive. Death Knight having a little bit of problems right there. Death Knight having a little bit of problems right there, as the Crypt Fiend now looking to back away. Crypt Lord falls at level 3. Death Knight getting up to level 5. Tauren Chieftain puts his foot down and really causes a bit of problems. Ensnare finishing off a destroyer, as well. Some of these Troll Berserkers are just in the back, really not engaging. This is not something that you can be doing in a time like this, when every bit of supply matters, every bit of damage matters, as there are some low hit point ghouls, as another obsidian statue gets taken down. Hug is really finishing things off, as we see, I believe that was a dark ritual to try and cut the losses and deny some experience. 43/70 supply compared to 54/80. Ensnare, Frost Armor here, ready to go. Blade Master, Frost Nova onto the Raider. Are we going to perhaps look for another Ensnare? We do not see another one, as the Tauren Chieftain at level 3 backs away again. Shadowhunter sitting at 4. Blade Master sitting at 4. Meanwhile, we're looking at a Lich who is at 4. Death Knight who is at 5. But economically speaking, Hug is in a much better spot if he can somehow protect his expansion. Place down 2 watchtowers or even 1 orc burrow should be more than enough to handle any sort of light harassment. Meanwhile, XiaoKai still needs to clear, has about a minute and a half left of mining before his main gold mine runs out. Death Knight here ready to go. Crypt Fiends here ready to go. Destroyers all lying in wait. Meanwhile, Blade Master sitting at level 4, Tauren Chieftain at 3, Shadow Hunter is at 4, ensnared, catching some units in transit, and this may be the final hair to just finish everything off right there. Reinforcements are going to be difficult to come by. Meanwhile, oh, Crypt Lord is currently out onto the field, gets an impale. What is going on? We should be looking at an engagement right here. Tauren Chieftain is right there, going after some of those units. There is a big stomp there. Death Knight could get taken down. Death Knight quickly uses a potion of lesser invulnerability to stay alive. Destroyer is trying to fight back the other way. Crypt Fiend finishing off one of XiaoKai's, or getting finished off as well. Death Knight trying to head back again. Is going to be able to finish off any additional units. Another, well, Troll Headhunter getting finished off. Lich getting a death coil to save its life for another day, but only to see it getting focused down there. XiaoKai loses to Hug, as that game went back and forth a number of times, but ultimately Hug having enough of an advantage. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.